All right, guys. Welcome to this Tuesday training on June 9th. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I want to go over real quick the new website templates. I did a video of them last week, but I had a few questions regarding these following buttons up here. I'm not sure if you guys have installed those or not, but you'll notice if you are in the website and you're making any adjustments, just remember, just because I have one area here in the section doesn't mean that you can't add more things to it. The question I had that came over was, these are white or gray, and wanted to change these colors. Unfortunately, we didn't allow that to happen just due to, over the years, no one's ever really done it. We do have some custom CSS options, which means if you guys have any type of web development experience or you do have a web developer, please reach out to support. They can work on that CSS with you. It does get unlocked. I'll show you where that is real quick when I log in. So over here under colors and settings, you'll notice there's going to be an upload a CSS option. So you would click this little box right here and then you can upload some CSS, okay? Now that's stuff that I don't deal with. We do have that functionality. So if you do want to change colors and you want to change layouts and stuff like that, you can do that. Just reach out to support@ptenhance.com. What will happen then is we'll have our developers have kind of some parameters for the CSS. Okay, so that's not something we handle on our side, but we do have it. We do have that functionality for you. Okay, but what I did want to go over today is let me go back to my website and show you guys just a couple things with these images. Okay, remember too, if you guys do any of your, for example, if you want to make edits on the front page or this home page, we do have. Let me just actually show you how to do that. Let me log back out. Because what happens if you're logged in, now it's going to log you out now. So if I were to go, let me just show you real quick, guys, how this works. Some of you guys ask me, you like doing stuff more on the front end of the website rather than on the back end. So I'm just going to go over how to do that real quick. So if we log back in, what's going to happen is we will go into the management area. So manage content. And let's say, for example, on the home page, we want to change something on the home page. If we just click on home here, what's going to happen is if we want to make the back-end edits, we make the back-end edits in here. But if you want to make front-end editing, which I didn't go over last week that much because I always do stuff on the back. But if I click View on Site over here on the right, you'll notice if I click on View on Site, that's going to open up now the template. And you'll have to see, you'll notice up here at the top, there's usually it's just going to pop up this little bar. And you want to go over here to the far left and click On. Okay, that's going to turn on the editing functionality. And then once we're in here, we can click on, so you'll notice how these boxes highlight. Same thing with these images. This is another, so this is a text plugin. This is an image plugin, another text plugin below that, so on and so forth. So if you guys want to go in and make any adjustments to this, now you're not going to make an adjustment to this main header image. That's done in a different area. What this editing allows you to do is change the content that's actually in the page. Okay, so for example, if we wanted to change this, we would hit this little edit, this little pencil, and then it opens up this edit function here. Okay, so you could go back in here and type whatever you want to type, or if you want to add another line, you could just hit, enter, return, and then put another line in here and say, let's say, hi, something like that. I know it's probably not what you guys are going to write, but we do something like that. You'll notice that once it does save, it says, hi, how are you doing here at the bottom? Okay, and it is going to follow this format. So if you wanted it to all be on one side, you would just change the formatting. We have this set to align in the center. So if you want to align these things out all the way to the left, you can justify to the left, so on and so forth in here. Okay, but that's how you guys go in and change on the back, or actually on the front end. Same thing if you want to move stuff down. You'll notice this is in that first row. Okay, so we are in one row here. This is a second row. So if I want to move this up, let's say this photo above the text plugin, we would just hit this arrow up, and that will then go at the top, and then the text plugin goes below it, if that makes sense. Okay, so you can move images around and move the plugins around just by clicking these arrows. Okay, but just remember, these are all going to be locked in actual rows. So this is row 1, this is row 2, row 3, and I don't think I have any more rows on here. And then we have a footer too. So if you guys want to put something in the footer, you guys can add stuff to the footer as well. But you'll notice here on the add button, if you want to add more content to the row, let's say, for example, in row 2, we want to add, let's say maybe do another image. If I click add and I go down and I do the picture image, hit picture, then it's going to open up this plugin and I can go choose a file. And I don't think I have any. Let me see if I have any. I don't. Sorry guys, I'm trying to find my, let's just download a photo real quick. So I went over last week with Canva with you guys. So if you guys go to Canva, this is what I use, it's free. You can do all your designs in here, okay? So say for example, I wanted to do let's go to all my designs, let's just download this one again, right here. So you always go back into these anytime, it saves it for you, so you guys can go back and re-download those back to your computer. And it's gonna download as a PNG, which I recommend is a higher quality image. Hit download. And then once it does that, then I can go back into that plugin and I can, just so you know, guys, I do delete all of my images every time I do a training because computer gets full of them. So that's why I don't have any in there. But downloads, let's upload that now. Now, you'll notice too, there's some other resizing options. You can resize the width and the height. Just remember, if you're doing that, the image needs to have a higher resolution. So if you're bringing an image over with, let's say it's already at 760, I believe this one was, I think a lower, this was a 750 by 600. So the pixels it's kind of shortened already. So if I wanted to resize it again, you're probably gonna see some, let's just try it real quick. Let me just put this in here. I'm gonna put it right in the center. I'm gonna add this plugin and then I'll show you what it looks like and then we'll see how, if we resize it, what the pixelization does. So that doesn't look too bad as far as the quality of the image. But let's say, for example, I wanted to make an adjustment to this. If I hit that pencil again, that's going to allow me to open back up in that plugin. I can then resize it. And let's say we want to go 400 and 400. The padding just means you're going to give padding between the two images. Okay, so you can go padding left, right. You can do all the different paddings. Or if you wanted to link this image to maybe a Instagram post or something like that, you could put the link in here. Or if you want to link this to maybe your shop or any of your other pages, you can link it to that page as well. But I'm just going to save it for now just to see what it looks like at 400 by 400. And then see, so it doesn't look too bad. You'll notice how it did kind of squeeze everything to the left-hand side. So that actually didn't really take down the pixels too bad on that. So if you guys do want to keep a large image and you want to resize it in the plugin, I think the last weekend I did it was a 600 and it filled up this container pretty nicely. Okay, so let's go back in there and not resize it. Because you guys will remember, anytime you resize, it's going to resize in that plugin. If you just upload an image in there, there's only so big of a photo that can go in that container. So just upload the image in there and see what it looks like. It might be perfect. You might not have to do any resizing at all. This just gives you some options to resize. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of this. It doesn't look like we're going to even need to resize this. And once this pops back open, yeah, it looks pretty good. So you'll notice though here how this isn't as far over to the right, and that's because I brought the image in at 760. Okay, so if you guys would want to go into this and change this up rather than have a 600 or 750, I would go wider. Let me show you what that would look like. For example, this one right here, this is basically that same image. And let me download it. And this one, I think you guys, I had it at 800 or 9 or maybe 1,000. If this isn't making any sense, guys, let me know, because this is kind of, I'll just go over this real quick because I do this all the time. So this is actually a large image, a 2560 by 1415. So this is a huge, huge image. So this is a perfect example. Let's see what this looks like when we upload it in our site. Where are we at? All right, here, I believe. Nope, where are we at? All right, right here. Okay, let me go back in this image. Let me change this out here. Let me put the new file in. It's this larger one right here. Hit open. And now I'm not going to do any resizing at all. Let's just see what it looks like. Because what happens, it does, you'll notice it's only going to go so wide. So that's a nice looking image. That will take the whole container width up. So just remember, if it's over 1,000 pixels in width, you don't have to do any resizing at all. Okay, so it's just going to fill that in real nicely. You'll notice how it's the same on top and bottom. Now, if we want to move this up, we can move this up as well. But just remember, you guys can't go side to side. It's only on this one container right here in the middle. Okay. So the question that I got over the weekend was wanted to change the title in the row with home. I'm not sure if Marcus, are you on the call today, Marcus? If you are, can you put in the chat that you're here? Because I am going to be going over your question right now. Jay, can you make sure?
Yeah, I don't see him here, B.
Okay. All right. So guys, so what Marcus was asking was, looks like he wants to change the title in the row with home. So let's go into that real quick and see what he's referring to. That's going to be when you're in the back end. So on the front end, I would do all of your edits regarding home and all that good stuff in the back. So I think is what he's referring to is each one of your pages, you'll say you have your home, about, services, testimonials, health tips, and landing page. You can change the name of these. So if you want the home page to be something different, you would find that in managed content. So for example, and I'm not sure, Marcus, why you're looking to do this, so maybe reach out to me personally, because most of the time, guys, you want your clients to go to the home page. That's where your home page is at. Same thing with your about page. But if you're talking about maybe switching up the language or whatever, you would just go into the title right here, hit home, and then you would go into the very top part right here, and you would change it from home to whatever, okay? Just remember, whatever you put here in the title, you want to have that congruent down here in the slug, because what the slug is going to be is the back end of the website. So for example, if I went back to here and I went to about, you'll notice the slug is right here. See how this part right here, that's the slug. Okay, so for example, if we click on the about page, this is what it's going to say about. When they click on that, it's going to take them to the actual page. We want to make sure it's still on the about side of it. Now, it's not only good for SEO and stuff, but it just keeps that your site in congruency. So if someone does look at the site, like, oh, this is the about page. Go back into here. So you would go home. That would give it a capital H. If you went a lower H, it would have a lower H right here. Okay, so you want to keep those. If you want to do them all caps, you can do them all caps as well. And then let's just do that real quick. Let's go home. Let's go all caps. Hit save. And let's refresh it. See how it's home it's all large. It's all home. So I always recommend keeping them, a capital at the beginning and then lowercase in the end. So let's go back and change that to how it was before.
That's great, Brandon. A few of these people do have that same question. And when you go back to the main page here, I do have another question.
Sure. Main page as far as right here?
Yep. PTE fitness, top left, right there below your cursor.
Yeah.
How do you change that, Mariah?
Okay, so you have two options here. Thanks for bringing that up. When you first sign up to PT Enhance, it's going to just populate the name of your business. So if it was like, if I came in and said Brandon, it's going to say Brandon Fitness or whatever. So to change this is going to be in the colors and setting options. And you can either change out the text or put a logo. It's totally up to you. Let's just go in here and I'll show you where that's at. Colors and settings. You'll notice down here, I have the, where are we at here? Hiding the marketing site, header, image, mobile. Guys, we just switched this up too. So I'm going to header title. So let's go here. It was, we want to do the logo. Where are we at here? Header background image, header image.
And just a reminder, guys, if your screen is blurry, we do apologize, but we will be posting this on the Facebook group and it will not be blurry. I've watched a lot of replays. So if it is, sorry about that.
Yeah, if it's blurry, guys, I just upgraded my internet again. So I know with everyone being stuck at home, everyone now is online. So I know every internet service provider that I've talked to is having the same problems. It's just bandwidth is bandwidth. There's only so much in certain areas. So, but let me just do this. Let me show you. If I were to hit, I'm hiding in the marketing site. Well, let me just hit submit. That's going to show you the PTE fitness is going to come back up here. You'll notice here that in a second when I refresh. Let me go back to that again, guys. Header title. Let me just do that real quick. I'll show you. If you guys want to do a logo, you want to change something up, let's just put a quick little image there real quick. And I'm probably going to do, I'm going to do this logo right here. So let me download this. Actually, that's going to be blue. I have a blue bar on the back, so I'm going to do something a little bit. Let's do this one right here. Download that. This will make sense here in a second, you guys. All right. So if I go back into colors and settings, you'll notice down here on the left, we have a mobile header. This is all to do with mobile, so we're not doing mobile right now. This is all mobile, so we can get rid of that. It's the header image. So if I go hit browse, and I put this in here and hit open, we're going to go down and hit submit. And we'll notice when we refresh this. Okay, so it put the logo there, but PTE Fitness is still going to be here in the header bar. So let's say we go and we want to change that. That should not be header title. Is right here. So let me change this. Put home. That could be a because these new website templates just went up. So let me see why it's doing that in the header bar. All right, guys, I might have to put a submit ticket because we used to be able to change that right here under the header title, but now that's actually on the website. So let's do this. Let's go back to the website. Let's just figure this out together because this is something that I'm curious on as well, why it's putting it there. This shouldn't be here. This usually would tie in with the settings right here. Right here, header title. Let's clear it, see what happens. So whoever asked the question, you guys looking for a logo there, or are you guys looking just to get rid of the text? Because I think the new templates brings over the name of the business and it puts it there anyways. Because we had a lot of people that just had just the name. So if I wanted to change, let's just do this. If I wanted to change the name to, you still want that there, but you want to change the name of your business. That's something we do on our back end. So for example, and that's all based on the URL. If you want to add a logo, that's what's going on. If you don't want this here at all, let me know and I could probably have the developers give that option to take it away. But what happens is when you sign up, so say for example, it's Brandon's Fitness, it's going to populate Brandon's Fitness here. Now, if you want to say, you want to change it down the road to, let's say, Holistic Fitness or something like that, you have to reach into support or reach into me, let me know, because we have thousands of people that use the system. So that URL, for example, Holistic Fitness might be taken. And if you were to say, hey, I'm going to submit that anyways, it could say Holistic Fitness 1, put a 1 there, because it does change the URL structure. So if you guys do want to have this text still here, but you just want to change the name of your business, just remember it's going to change your URL as well, okay? Because that's how our system works. Your subdomain, you're always going to have a .pt enhance, but the name of your business, for example, like right now, I'm PTE Fitness. I can't change that as a trainer. You have to reach into support and have them change it, just due to the fact that we have thousands of people that probably have this name already. That's why mine got hyphened out, okay? So Jason, can you monitor that chat and see if
she's okay with just the logo, okay? But the problem is in her website, it shows my name, not the business name. So she's trying to work. She's just curious how to get.
Yeah. What? Can you give me can you put a link into the chat box so I can pull it up? Because if it has your name's right here, saying her name's right here on the, rather than the actual business name.
Yeah. Hey, Mariah, can you go ahead and just copy paste the link to your website there and put in the chat box? And also, while she's doing that, we have a question about Canva. What file type do you download from Canva? They tried to upload it, and he wants to know if that's PDF or what do you do?
No, yeah. So when you download from Canva, you'll have options to download. It's always do PNG. JPEG's a little bit smaller. These are more high quality images, but we don't upload PDFs. But you could definitely do PNG or JPEG, one of the two. I always recommend, like, the nicer images, do PNG. If you're just doing some other, most of the trainers don't have a ton of images on their site anyways, and so PNG is fine. What you'll notice, guys, if you have a lot of PNGs on your website, it'll start slowing down because it has to load those high quality images. So you'll have two options. A JPEG is just a smaller file versus a PNG, okay? So I would recommend doing PNGs.
Okay, great. Her business name and URL is the same. It's HPT Labrador. We did not get a link in the chat box, but HPT Labrador. Lab.
Is that right?
You forgot one R in there. Labrador. An R right after.
Okay. Now, Myra, I know I spoke to you before. Have you've changed? Did we change this for you, or did you? This originally, was it Myra Labrador before? Did we change that URL by chance? Hey guys, I think what we're gonna start doing too in the next call, we're kind of open this up so it's a little more interactive and bring you guys on. If that works for you guys, let us know. I've done these in the past and people didn't want to show their face or do anything online, so that's why I've kind of closed it off. But if you guys if this is helpful to actually bring you guys on and go through it, let me know and we'll make some adjustments on the live trainings. It looks like she did ask something, said
she was able to change it.
Yeah. So Myra, that's what's going on. Is the new templates are completely different than the old templates. So what I'll do is I'll have our developer just go in there and make sure that field can get updated, because what happened, they probably missed that. These just got released last week, so there's a few issues that are, I wouldn't say issues, but things that alignment things that they're working on still. So I will submit that today. So you guys moving forward, this will line up to back to here. Okay, so in your over here on your header title, this should be where you change that. That's what you're talking about, Myra, last time, was the header title. You could change your name and that would show right here in this section here. Okay, so for whatever reason, these new website templates brought your name over from your account name. Okay, so I'll get that changed. So you guys give me probably a day or two and we'll get that changed for you.
Is there a way for them to change the font size or anything right there in that header?
No, yeah, so these are all locked. And the reason why we've locked those is because in the past we've had trainers change them and then they can't go back and everything gets kind of out of whack. So all this stuff's locked in here. You can change the verbiage. So you can change the name, you can put it in caps, but the font and all that stuff stays the same. Okay, so on the plan for the new software, new website templates, you'll be able to do a lot more functionality. Just over the years, guys, we've had a lot of trainers really mess with this stuff, so it hasn't really been a priority. But as of late, there's been a lot more requests for customizing websites and stuff like that. So we'll have new visual builders, a bunch of new things happening once the new software releases. But for right now, we basically went out and just change up the templates so they look a lot different, look a lot more up to date. So these are all going to be locked. Same thing with these colors. So remember, I'm going to go back to mine real quick. You'll notice here, these colors are all based on that theme I selected. Okay, so this is gray and white. If you want, say, for example, this to be black, you're going to need to change the whole theme. Okay, you'll notice in here, there's an all black theme. That's why we have those themes that way. It's the same layouts, it's just different colors. Okay, so there's only 4 themes. In the older stuff, we had more theme options. But for this one, these are the updated themes. This is what you're going to get. So for example, let me go back to individual blocks. So the question was on the individual block, can you change the color? And that's going to be no. So for example, if you're trying to put your Instagram logo and you're on a blue, like that's on a blue bar in the back, I would just use the white bar and put it underneath. Okay, so these aren't going to be able to be changed unless you do CSS stuff. Okay, But straight out of the box, we left it this way just to make things a little bit more easier for you guys. If you wanted to have everything all white, right, and have no gray, then you would just take out this section and then put everything under one column, and it would be all white. Okay, so let me show you how that would work real quick. Okay, so I'm going to go in, for example, I'm going to go in the back end of this real quick and go back to manage content. Now let's go back, because this question was from Marcus. So Marcus, I'm going to go to a page that I don't use a lot, so I don't have to go in here and see what's in here real quick. Health tips. So say, for example, let's say, for example, that you're putting, this is blue. This is a blue background right here, and then the next one would be white. And you want to put your Instagram logo on there, but the Instagram logo is not showing on the blue. Then what I would do is I'd put everything in this second row column. Okay, so let's say, for example, we wanted this whole page to be white. What we'd have to do is just take this content out and move it into the next row. So let's go. We have the first row here, and I'm curious if I can do this. I've never done this before, so let's see if I can. Yeah, I can. So I'm going to move everything in this way. Okay, and hit save and continue editing. Hit OK. Where's my health tips at? Right here. So if I refresh this, you'll notice that everything's now on the white. Now this is out of alignment, right? But to get rid of this gray bar, I would just have to delete that row. So for example, I would go into a one row column and hit OK. Now this is just going to change this one page, okay? This is going to change just the health tips page. And let's go back and hit save and continue editing. It's right here. Now once I hit refresh, this bar is going to disappear. Oh, because I did the wrong row. So let me go back to that. Let me show you. So what happened was I put everything in the second row. So let me go back to the second row column. So what I just did, guys, I shut off that second row, and that's where I had all the content at. So let's put everything back up to the top and to here. And we're just dragging stuff up and down. And then second row, we'll get rid of the second row now. Let's do a one row again. Hit save, continue editing, hit OK. The only thing that I think is going to happen is it's going to give you a gray bar. So let's check and see. Yeah, it's going to be a gray. So now once I refresh this, it's going to be everything on one page, okay? So that's how that works. Now, if you guys want to go in and change this stuff up and make it, in the middle, you can change those. If you want to log in here and do it on the site, you can do it on the site too. And then we can move stuff around here. So for example, if we wanted to move this up, we can move this up here. So everything's kind of all down the page here. Or we want to move the image up, we can move that to the top. So I guess to answer the question, you guys, is you can, in order to get rid of these, these blocks or these other rows, you can just put everything into one row, and you can go into any page. Say I go to my home page. Now I don't want to change my home page up on mine, guys, because I have another demo today after this. But if, let's say, for example, I wanted everything in one row, then I would just move them up. I would just drag, and you notice you can click on it, it's going to drag. And once I do that, I can drag everything up to the main content area. And once I do that, then I can disable the second and third row just by going over to here and selecting one row. And once I hit save, it's only going to show everything that's in this one row. Okay, so that's how you can get rid of the block colors. So hope that helps. I think that's
another question for you, B.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it's actually something I learned over the weekend myself. When you're doing templates and you send them out to your clients to have them sign, show them how to use the text, how you have to click the text button, then they can type it in, then you have to click the text button for it to stop, and then move to the new section.
Can you help me out with are we talking about websites, or are we talking about something else?
Templates, assessments, questionnaires.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no problem. So kind of refresh me what you're looking to do so I can switch my brain to that mode real quick.
No problem. So assessments or questionnaires, when you assign them to a client, The client gets them and he needs to sign his, and date the information on there.
Yeah.
How does the client use the bar that has the pencil, the eraser, the text?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let me, let's just go over that live real quick. Let me make sure I have my client in here. I think I do. I forgot what email I used. So demo. All right, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign. Are you guys looking forward to, like, want to edit the actual assessment, or just want to show them how? Because I went over that before, how to change that information in here. So I'm assuming it's the consent form and waiver, correct?
What it is when your client gets it and they go to sign.
Yeah, I just want to know what's the actual form so we can just do this in real time.
I forget which one I was working on. Just try consent form, I guess.
All right, so I'm going to assign the consent form to my test account. And once that happens, I always just check, assign Q&A. And then you'll notice consent form just went out June 9th. So that was the form we were talking about here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sign out, and I'll log in as my test client. Or, an easy way you guys can do it too is just go to member list and then go over here and hit login as a client. Hit yes. So let's just pretend I just logged in as a client because it's the same thing. I'm going to go into my questionnaire, consent forms right here. So what I have to do first, I have to agree to it. You'll notice down here at the bottom, I can't start it till I submit this right here. This is for all GDPR compliance reasoning up here. Basically just saying that you're allowing the trainer to collect this information. Hit submit. Once I hit submit here, it's going to start the questionnaire. So I click on it. And you'll notice right here is the bar. This is what moves around, right? So I click on it and drag it. Once your client does this once, this is like second nature to them. You'll notice that you click on it, you have an option. So if I want to put my signature, I would select the pencil, and then I would just put my name and do that. And then if I want to put my date in, I click the text field. Once I click the text field, I want to just then click in here. That's going to allow me to put it in the text field. And I'm going to start typing. So this is June, so I'm going to put 6. What's the date? 9th, 6/9/2020. And then what you have to do, just remember, if they click back off of this, it's not going to save it. Okay, so it needs to put it in the box, 6/9/2020, and then click back on the text. And that's then going to populate 6/9/2020 in there. Same thing with the name. Going to put that in there. They can click around and make it a little quicker. So Brandon, hit text, and that puts it in. Okay, and then once they go save and continue, they need to finalize it. And once it's finalized, you'll get notified as a trainer. I'm going to sign out back on my trainer account, and I'll show you the log back in. And I just got notified too, guys, on my email that it had been completed. So I can go back to my questionnaire, and you'll see it too, recently completed right here. So if I want to go right into it, I can click on it. It'll take me right into the form, and then I can view it. And then you'll see that the sign and the name, all that good stuff's in there. Just remember, guys, to get this stuff out of here, this is what you guys need to put your stuff in, okay? I showed you that on the last video, but I'll go over real quick how to do that just while you're on the call.
Before you jump into that, B, thank you. That is exactly what I was looking for. I forgot that you had to click the text button again after putting numbers in, because it disappears. But also you have the eraser on there, so you can erase things, and then you have the size. I think you had it on 2, but it will go up to 10, so it does look bigger.
Yeah. And for the future, guys, on the new software, all this stuff's going to be completely different too. So there'll be a lot more functionality on that. For right now, that's how that plugin works. We do have some new plugins coming out here in a couple weeks that I'll be going over live as well. But just remember, this stuff can be edited. So for example, like what Jason's saying, if you want to go in, for example, to this consent form and you need to change all that information out, you just need to go to copy and edit. And then you can just put test in there and then hit save. And what we're going to do, if you want to put your logo there, you can, click on put your logo. So say, for example, I want to put this one on rather than, because you're going to notice it's going to have the PT Enhanced logos. But if you want to create your own, you would upload your logo there. And then make sure you hit save. And then the next section, we don't have to worry about assigned message. We want to go sections and questions. You'll see this is all the information. So if you want to go in and just start putting your name in there, you can, you can go in here and do it and just put in, like, say, Brandon. You notice how it's red. I would probably, this is what I did. This is why we did this last time, is I would select everything in here, copy it. So, like, right click, copy, and then go into your, if you guys have docs, I would create a new doc in anything. If it's, you guys are on, so I just hit paste. You'll notice how all of this, it's highlighted. We highlighted it because we want you guys to change it. So if we go in here and we select all of this content again, I think that's about, basically that's it. We'll notice there's a little highlighter here, and we want to get rid of that, so it's none. And then we want to change this stuff out, and you'll notice it's going to go red again. We want it to be black, and just put your, Brandon or Brandon's Fitness or PT Fitness, whatever your name of your business is. So once you fill out all that information, I'm just going to put Brandon's Fitness, and then you would do the same thing. So I would just copy this here, copy, and then I would paste it on everyone. Paste. Get rid of that. And then do that all the way down, okay? So I'm not going to go through all that now, but you would just go to every one of these here and would just replace it with the name of your business. And then once you're done, I would just copy all this again. So copy it or right click. I always do Command C on a Mac, or it's going to be Command, whatever PC is. I haven't used PC forever. So just copy it. And once you copy that, go back into that form here. And then that's where you can just paste it back in. Okay, so you can go back over to, I believe it's this one right here, paste from Word. And then you would just paste that, boom, paste, and hit submit. And then it will put all that information in there. Okay. So that's how you change that information. Just remember, any one of these forms too that you guys want to put in, you guys can make your own adjustments to them. Okay. Same thing with if you go into a form that has been completed, you'll know on some of these here, you're going to have an option to like reset or unlock, because you'll notice once, if I reset or unlock it just allows them to go back in and make adjustments to it. Okay, so for example, I just unlocked that. Let me go back into my account, log in as my client. The reason why we made this available for you guys to do is if you have a client in front of you, you can log into their account and have them fill that out right when they're with you. Okay, now you can do this on an iPad or desktop version as well. So let me go back into those questionnaires, that consent form. You'll notice how it's been unlocked, so you can redo it. Okay, so you can view or complete. And let's go back in, continue. You'll notice that's back in there, but like Jason said, if you want to get rid of this stuff, you can bump this up to like 10 to make the eraser bigger. I can erase all that stuff and then redo it. Okay, so this is with any form. Once they've been finalized, they've been finalized. If you want to make an adjustment, or if a client says, hey, I made a mistake, you can just unlock that. They can go back in and fill the correct data out. Okay, so go back in here again. It's on 10. This is gonna be it's like a heavy stroke. So that's why I always keep mine on like a 2, just because it gives it a little bit more of an actual handwriting. And let's go back in here, back to 2. So once I didn't put this back in, however you sign it, you want to move the text up a little bit higher, you can. Let's go 6/9/2020. Same thing here. Text. Same, continue, and then you're done. Then you finalize again. So any one of your guys' forms that are filled out by a client, just so you know, they're not finalized. I mean, they are. Once they finalize them here, on their end, they're locked. You then can go in and review the answers, but you can unlock them, let them go back in and make some adjustments. Okay. Was there any other questions, guys, you had? I know. One more. Yeah.
To download images on the website, do you recommend PNG or JPEG?
Yeah, so it depends. Like I would always say on a website, it's all based on loading speeds. So for example, if I go to my website right now, I have to log out. I'm in a test account. So this is a big image. So I would definitely have this a PNG file, which is just a higher quality image. These down here, depending on how many images you're putting on your website, these just PNGs just look better. It's just a higher quality photo. So I would, if you're not doing a ton of images, then you can get away with PNGs. But if you have a ton of images you're adding on here, JPEGs are just gonna be a little bit lower quality. So if you guys are doing like maybe images side by side or something, if you did that, you want to have a little bit lower res image, then you could do a JPEG. But I haven't seen any problems, guys, with our websites with PNG. So just stick with PNG. If things like start loading a little slower. Now, when we talk about loading, we're talking probably not something that you're going to really notice. It still loads really quick. It's just the more images and more data, more videos you add to a page, it just takes a little bit longer for that page to load because it's trying to load that video as well. So just keep that in mind. But I would just stick with PNGs for now.
That's it. Thank you.
Perfect. Guys, just so you know too, on went over last week, I will follow up in the Facebook group because I'll be talking with the developers today around 4 o'clock on that specific standard time. And I'll get this adjusted. Okay, so this is very helpful that you guys are on these calls too, because it allows us to go through with you. There's a lot of new things are coming. Just didn't want to tell you guys too much yet, but the new kind of version of the software has been loaded for, I think it got loaded yesterday. So they're going through the final testing things. And so we're shooting for next week, whole new deal. Okay, so when you log into your account, it's not going to look anything like it did before. So things are going to change. Okay, so when you guys get on these calls, you ask questions. It does, some things will pop up if it's a minor issue that we've transferred over from an old template now to new templates. Sometimes we miss some things, so I appreciate you bringing that up. So we'll definitely get that handled for you. I'll post the update in the Facebook group. And Myra, if you're still on the call, I'll reach out to you personally myself and let you know it's been updated. Okay. But guys, if you don't have anything else today, like Jason said at the beginning of the call, we do these every single Tuesday. Next week, I'm got my fingers crossed. If it's not next week, the following week, we'll be going over the whole new layouts. Everything's going to be completely different. Okay, so very, very excited for that coming as well. But if there's any question you guys have, like Jason said, when you guys registered for the webinar, you do get a reminder email. And I believe that in that reminder email, it has a link to that form. I don't get the reminder emails because I host them. But Jason, can you confirm when you get notified of the training, like an hour before or a day before, does it have a link to that form in there?
It does. Let me go.
Because if it doesn't, guys, the form that he's referring to basically just allows you to submit questions, or if it's like a tech-related thing, kind of like Myra, what you had mentioned about your header. If I would have got that a little bit ahead of time, I could have got that fixed and then shown you how to do it. But considering that was live on the call, I can't work with the developers until, like I said, 4 o'clock. Okay, so, but I will address those for you guys. Anything moving forward, you guys have questions, please bring them to the calls. Not only do we benefit as a company because we can then, work stuff out and make things better, but anyone that watches it also is learning from it as well. Okay.
So yes, so, at the bottom of the email, Brandon.
What's that?
At the bottom of both emails, it says you can still submit any questions you have going through this link, and you click the link and it will submit the questions.
Okay, forward me that link real quick so I can bring that up. Just forward it to my email so I can show everyone where that's at. Because I've had that question too about trying to
Thank you, Stuart. Stuart said there's the link too.
Oh, okay, cool, Stuart. All right, right on. Hey guys, while you're on the call, if you can put in the chat box, would it make sense? Would you guys like to do this more like more formal, where we're sharing screens and people are talking, stuff like that? If you guys would like to switch over to that, I'm totally fine with it. The reason why I've done this way is because I had people in the past that basically just wanted to listen and they didn't want to say anything. And so if I kind of change up the live trainings, but if you guys want to have more of an interactive experience and where we share screens and go back and forth, I'm totally open for it. So if that's something you guys are willing or wanting to do, let me know and we'll start making those adjustments. Okay. Same thing with the time time of these calls. I know a few of you have asked that you're in different parts of the world. So this is like 3 a.m. your time. So what I'm doing is I created a YouTube account that I was uploading images to, or actually replays to, and I deleted an old email address and I lost all the videos. So I'm working on that today. So I'll be posting in the group too. If you guys don't want to watch it on Facebook or you don't have a Facebook account, I'll be sending you over a link to the new YouTube account. And I'm just going to start putting all of these replays in YouTube so you guys can watch those rather than being on Facebook. Okay. So I know some of you have asked that you don't have Facebook accounts. So the replays are only in our Facebook group, and now they'll be on a YouTube page as well. Okay. So, all right, guys, if that's it for today, I appreciate your time. Like I said, any question you have, let us know. Until next week, Jay, are you good with questions?
Yeah. Did that email come over so you can show these guys where it's at?
Yeah, I'm gonna resume. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so this is your guys' reminder for Tuesday, and it's gonna be down here, right here at the bottom. So you'll see you can still submit questions. So if I were to click on this, that's gonna open up the page where I can go in here and I can submit my questions, so I can put, first name, my email, your URL account. The reason why we have this here, for example, like with you, Myra, if you put your URL, then I can actually go there and visually see what you're referring to, and then just put your questions in here, and I get that directly to my email account, and I review these. I go over those, and if I get them ahead of time, I can most of the time get whatever that issue was solved. So in the call, then I can kind of go over that for you guys. So that's where you can find the form, and then every week you'll have that same reminder, so you can go in there and put that. If you want to save this to a doc, then you can save it, or just keep it in your email and you can just go back to that anytime, so you don't have to worry about finding that link again. But that's it, guys. Thank you for your time. If you guys are interested in doing more interactive stuff, just email Brandon@ptenhance.com, or just fill out this form. Fill out this form here. That's even better. Just fill that out and just put your info in there and just say, hey, we'd love to be more interactive. We'd love to share screens. And then we will start integrating that into our live calls. We want to make this not only interactive for you guys, but also worth your time. I understand that your time is valuable, so I definitely don't want to take time up if these aren't being helpful for you. Okay, so until next week, guys, I will see you on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great week.